Welcome to Spotlight Gulf Coast, a weekly showcase of people and events across South Mississippi. Spotlight Gulf Coast is partnered with William Carey University and sponsored by the IP Casino Resort and Spa, the Trenchard Scholarship Fund, and the Butch Ostelet Foundation.
Hi everyone, this is Todd Trenchard, Executive Director of the Baco Foundation of South Mississippi, welcoming you to another segment of Spotlight Gulf Coast right here on WXXV. Each week we're coming into your living room talking about what's going on all across our region, and we want to thank our sponsors for this generous opportunity. Today we're joined by Farrell Allman, and Farrell, we had you on the show, what, 4 years ago, maybe four or five years ago?
Yeah.
Over in Pascagoula.
Yeah, over Pascagoula, yep.
And I know you certainly didn't bring all this on with you, but it was the first time I think that I had you on our show over there, and I've since gotten to know the store. It is absolutely just amazing, some of the things you have in there, and we're going to get to all that. And we were talking about your wife, Rose, just the other day, because we're doing a Lynn Meadows segment.
Yeah, that's right.
One of the founders.
Right. One of the founders. Yep, she and Carol Lynn Meadows were the two founders. It was their idea to say, hey, you know, we've got this seed money from the auxiliary that they had, Gulfport Junior Auxiliary, and they said, you know what? Let's put this money to something, and it just sat there, and Rose finally said, you know what, let's build a children's museum.
That's right.
And she got with Carol Lynn, and they said, let's do this. And those two, you put those two together and watch out, anything can happen, and it did. And now, you know, look at what they're celebrating.
Unbelievable. I was there the other night, and I came home with so much stuff I didn't need. I even had a big elephant.
You won a lot then.
I won this hand-carved elephant that weighed about 400 pounds.
Oh, boy. All right. All right.
Brought it home. My bulldogs are still not sure what it is, but I got him secured in the other thing, or they'll use it as a bone. But
well, thanks for your support of that.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the history. I know I've told this story before. Royce Cumbus used to love to shop over there every year.
God bless him. Yep. Indeed.
We would take a little collection up amongst everybody at M&M Bank, and he'd get a gift card to SF Allman.
And Mike Dixon, God rest his soul, was one that would come over. It was always a great time. I knew I could get to see Mike Dixon at least once a year, and see him once a year too. So that's where we.
And I think Royce is generally considered the most.
If I could have another dozen on the coast like him, my business would go up 20% probably.
He was always, that was when if you were a banker, you wanted to look like Royce Cumbus. To a T every day.
Yeah, great guy. But yeah, no, we've been doing this for 41 years now. Started back in 1983 as a clothing store. And we started out for the first year in men's clothing. And then we got into women's wear about a year later when Norman Shirts, the Thomas family out of Jackson, and Barbara Thomas Salome on the coast, had Norman shirt makers in Jackson. And we sold Madras shirts like you wouldn't believe back in 1983 and 1984. And Norman said, you know what, we're selling so many Madras shirts, we got to do something for ladies. So they just made it long and turned that Madras shirt into a dress. And so we put about a dozen of them on a hat rack, and the rest is history. We got into the women's business. So, and my wife Rose runs that. So been able to do that and get that Lynn Meadows Discovery Center off, you know, got love her, because she's quite a talent.
The second I walked in, I was reminded of Terry and Juden and Perlis's. You know, growing uptown and just
institutions in New Orleans. Institution in New Orleans.
And you just gave it. I always thought that these were every little place had one, but they were really unique stores.
Oh yeah. They're institutions, both of them. Terry and Juden closed now, of course, but Perlis, David Perlis, is still going strong in New Orleans. So yeah, I've kind of modeled myself after him. We see each other at market a lot. I got my start in Jackson at the Rogue in Jackson, Mississippi.
Oh yeah.
And so, you know, there used to be so many little independent men's stores all across Mississippi and Louisiana. Norman shirt makers had told me that one time they had probably 350 men's stores around Mississippi. Now I can count on, you know, maybe 15, 20 maybe that are in bigger cities now that are around. So yeah, business is tough there, but if you offer service and you offer selection and you sell stuff that people are going to walk out of your door holding it in their hand going, wow, this is just the coolest thing, be it a gadget or a gift like I brought today, or they feel good because they've got on a new sport coat or a new suit and it fits well and it looks good, then there's a lot to be said for somebody that can walk out and feel good, you know, about how they look, and that's very important.
You bring me back to Highland Village and the Rogue. I was thinking, we used to drive from New Orleans because you'd have that big sale.
Oh yeah. Billy Neville, God rest his soul, would always have twice a year sale, which we do that too. Matter of fact, we're just finishing up our 75% off sale right now.
Right.
But yeah, twice a year, you know, we have our sale, and yeah, Billy Neville, he would buy for that, and so it got to be quite an institution, you know, up there with that. But yeah, that's kind of where I cut my teeth. And then 1983, I said, you know what, I can do this in Gulfport, where I grew up, was born and raised in Gulfport, and kind of did my apprenticeship, so to speak, for 3.5 years at the Rogue in Jackson, and met my wife Rose in Jackson, and we got married, and we said let's move back to Gulfport, because there wasn't anybody really selling any of the lines that we were carrying at the Rogue. And so I said I can do this in Gulfport because of all the people that would drive up to Jackson from Gulfport and the whole Gulf Coast and shop with me because they couldn't find those lines on the coast. And so I thought, well, there's always room for one more. And so we bit the bullet and, you know, filled out stacks of paperwork for the SBA in 1983. We opened the doors there on Courthouse Road in Gulfport.
You've been in the same location?
We were in a location there next to Little Ray's, in that little shopping center on Courthouse Road. We were a few doors down from Little Ray's. And we were there for about 4 years, and then we outgrew that space, and the space where we presently are now had double the space, and so we moved in there, and we've kind of added a few more here and there as business has grown. And so right now we're happy where we are, and you know, we're trying to do one thing and do it well in that one location. And so far, so good.
I know I was joking right before we came on the air, and I was talking about how it was great to be able to go to a store, you go back and you had the same salesman, and you said, what?
Well, my newest full-time salesman is David Bell, who everybody knows and loves, and he's been with me 25 years now. So you know,
that is incredible.
Got some part-time folks, but yeah,
family.
Yeah, it's like a family. It really is, and so a lot of people, you know, come in because of David and other people that work for us. But and David's got a memory like you wouldn't believe. He can remember what a guy bought in 8th grade, and he's just graduated college. So well, I couldn't do it without him. Well, and our whole sales force, everybody there, we couldn't do it without him.
We're going to take a commercial break. We're going to come back. I want to talk about some of the accessories here, because it's really all unique things that you probably wouldn't think about. And I mean, just the idea of the shirt that has all the little movies.
Oh yeah, Peter Millar little movie prints all over it. Yeah,
it's quite amazing. So we're going to take a short commercial break, so you don't touch that remote. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We're joined by Farrell Allman, and of course, Farrell, you know, we talked at the break a little bit about Renaissance Runway. It was a unique idea to bring local boutiques together with local models. 9 years ago, you've been a part of it since day one, and you know, I think Dan was like, I want to model it. So he, you know, you had that little board member that wanted to be there, but you do a lot in the community. You're in Gulf Coast Carnival. I mean, I'm always watching you. I'm in amazement. Behind the scene at the Crawfish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was something
let the big mouths like some of us get out there doing our stuff, but just quietly behind the scene. It's important to be a part of the community if you're going to be a part of the community.
Oh, indeed, because and I grew up on the coast, so of course, if you grow up in an area or have a deep connection, you know, to that area somehow, then, well, everybody wants to raise those, you know, that rising tide lifts all boats.
Right.
And so, yeah, you want to try to get out and help all the different organizations like y'all do. I mean, I got McCarty, good grief, the great things y'all do and the lives y'all touch and the things that a lot of people don't know about because y'all do so many things up and down the whole coast, and how y'all spread up and down the whole coast that a lot of people thought it was just Jackson County, but you know,
Yeah.
y'all have really, you know, spread out, and I know Butch has done a lot to help
Right.
with that. So, yeah, I mean, we're all in it to you know, improve our lives and all the people around us. But then, of course, it helps business too. You know?
Yeah, it does. It does. When you know that, like you said, you know the customer's name when they come in. You know what they're probably looking for, and
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
you don't feel like in some of the stores you'll walk into a section and you got 9 people. Like, can I help you? Or you
Yeah.
what? Oh, well, I don't know. I just walked in 1 foot.
Yeah, yeah. Or they don't have anybody in there to help you. Yeah, and won't get service.
Let's talk about this real quick. You've got a lot of what'd you call them?
Well, they're in Colonel Littleton, who does our leather goods, says it's the accoutrements for the gentleman.
Accoutrements,
And so we've got a lot of accoutrements that are also just gifts, because we try to have something for the guy that has everything with our gifts, be it not just clothing and everything, but you know, somebody comes in and goes, hey, I want something really unique that my husband doesn't have, and so it could
great
be
gift place.
something like what's showing in the front there, from the new Yeti ice bucket, you know, that's there in the front, to our lights with hurricane season. Thank goodness we haven't had one, but it's not when, but if one in the future comes up. You got to have good lights for when the power goes out.
The bat light.
That's the bat light there. Now the bat light is unique in that is, I don't want you to blind everybody there, but you punch the button, it's a super bright floodlight, but then it also goes to a low light, but then also a strobe there, so that you know you can blind somebody if you are feeling somebody's being aggressive with you. And if that's not enough, well, you can bat them over the head if you have to also. So that's the
right.
bat light. And these guys do spotlights and other things for lighting, just for, and one of them is a spotlight that I tell guys you can replace those big Q-beams on a boat with one of these handheld spotlights. They've gotten so powerful now that this one is a 1/4 mile. I even have one that goes 3/4 of a mile with a spotlight on it. But we also do other great things from not only Colonel Littleton, there's great leather goods guy out of Linville, Tennessee, and it's all made in Linville, from leather portfolios to little desk caddies that can go on your desk when you get home. You put your keys and wallet in there. And then, of course, ladies, you know, we do ladies wear too. We're not just a men's store. As I said earlier, we do ladies. And one of our hottest items is the E. Newton jewelry there that you see on the table that's from E. Newton. Elizabeth Newton, she's out of Atlanta. We were one of her first accounts over 10 years ago, and it is the hottest item that the college and high school girls like, that are fairly inexpensive. They do earrings, they do bracelets, necklaces, and all kind of things. But
So
it
you
is
get
our,
you get a good college crowd and a good, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Those high school seniors, I
yep.
see them lining up over there
Yep.
when I'm in there, and
Yep, and we start them at that young age, you know, of getting them in their first Navy blazer for different weddings or things they have to go through, and then we take them all the way through till after they graduate and get a job somewhere. We help them get a job too by clothing them with their clothing. There's some other neat stuff too that I have here. That guy in Austin, Texas makes these, and he takes 50 caliber bullets and makes corkscrews and writing pens. He also takes, for the golf guy out there, if you're looking for somebody that sometimes it's always hard to find a golf or something, he takes these and makes bottle openers out of old antique wooden golf clubs, be it an iron or a putter or a wood. He even makes a cutout for a cigar to go in there with that. And that's the writing
this
pen.
is the wooden driver I used to have when I was.
Well, there you go. It might have been. See, you should have hung on to it, turned it into a knife. And then we also do Hella Knives. It's a 3rd generation knife maker in Holmedal, Norway. And this is called the Viking. And there's an interesting story behind it, because the Historical Society in Norway wanted to recreate a real Viking ship and sail it around the world. So they came to Hella and said, what kind of knife would a Viking have had back then on that ship? And so they created this knife that is a primitive handle with carbon steel. They even put Viking runes into the sheath on it. So those are the kind of unique things that you just can't find just anywhere.
And we got the Filson bags.
Yeah, Filson. Oh yeah, which you've got one of those yourself. You know Filson. They're still made in
I told Dan
Seattle.
I'll never have a man's purse. I don't go anywhere with that.
Well, you know, you got to have something to carry all your stuff in.
That's it.
And then clothing-wise, you know, we were talking about our Peter Millar knits and our great line of sportswear for men called Peter Millar. And they always do these unique knit shirts with little prints. These prints over there, one of them's Mardi Gras, which of course is perfect for the time that's coming up. The middle one is oysters and oyster knives, which of course is appropriate for us. And then the bottom one's the most fun. It's a great knit that they take different movies from. And that's Smokey and the Bandit on that one. And they've done Caddyshack, but they take and put the tiniest little icon from a movie and put it on knit shirt. So it makes a great conversation piece. So
Right.
that's something that's like, well, my husband doesn't need another knit shirt, but oh yeah, he loves Smokey and the Bandit. He loves Caddyshack. So they have all these movies that have little icons on it. So that makes for a really special gift. Also, when you can give them something that's so unique that they can't find it anywhere else.
Now, everybody needs a turtle box.
Ah, yes, that's, you talk about E. Newton for ladies. Turtle Box is one of our hottest items there. It's the loudest waterproof speaker on the market. Some guys in Austin, Texas invented that. And it will, you can dunk it in the water, pull it out, it's still gonna keep playing. If you get sand, dirt, mud, anything like that on it, you just take a hose and hose it down and it continues to work. Plus, you can charge your phone or anything with it. It's got a battery bank in it. And one of the neatest things, you can plug in a microphone and use it for karaoke.
Gotta have it.
So we'll have to I'll have to bring that sometime, and I know you're going to be at a party. Let
That's
you do
right.
some karaoke for us, Todd.
We need to do that. Now, we're going to have on the third segment, we got Dave Weldon. Dave's going to be one of the models that you'll be dressing.
Yep.
And some of them, I know you got the sheriff of Jackson County.
Yep. He's coming over. Your
Dan, of
CPA
course,
too, and CPA about caught, and also Dan Hunter, always
Dan,
the thriller. Dan Hunter,
always a
never know what
thriller.
he's going to do.
So we're gonna talk with
And we'll
them.
have some
and
ladies too. Yep.
We also have Tiffany Watts, of course, is going to come on and help with that segment. But again, I appreciate you bringing all this stuff, and I'm glad you're able to get away from the store. I mean,
Well, like I said, I couldn't do it if we didn't have our employees, David, and everybody there. I appreciate being put on the spotlight, and even brought spotlights to show. See,
that's
so,
right.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't mind, we're going to leave all this up while we talk to
Sure,
them.
you bet.
Appreciate you coming on.
Thanks, Todd. Yep.
We're going to take a short commercial break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit more about Renaissance and meet a couple of the models. So don't touch that remote. Welcome back, everyone. We're now joined by Dr. Dave Weldon. Dave, Rotary to modeling. You shouldn't have come that day.
I did get pulled in pretty quick, but I'm super excited to be part of it.
I think you just started talking, and I was already telling people that he's in, and let's set him up with Farrell.
Yeah, I actually got the email while we were still talking.
I've not heard the whole story of
get
how
you,
you roped him into this.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, thanks,
Well,
Dave, for being here.
Well,
He wanted to come on the show. We were going to
did.
get him on the show, and
Yeah.
one thing led to another. And I think you were with us that day, and visiting Rotary.
Yeah.
And so we were just making our rounds on Thursday. And of course, Dave's the past president,
Yep.
and now took over the program director.
I am, yeah.
That's usually backwards. It's usually program director and then president.
Yeah, I'm supposed to have that past president year, but I love my Rotary Club downtown Gulfport so much. Wanted to help out the president and thought, you know what, I can serve some time doing the programming. Happy to be part of it.
I know we met the other day, and we're blessed to be able to announce that Butch is going to
Yeah.
be given $10,000 a year for the next 3 years, and
Yeah, supporting the
That's-
scholarships for our local seniors.
right. And so I think that that's very generous of him, and you had some great ideas that how we look at Rotary scholarships, that sometimes it's more the person that does stuff in the community and
Right.
has need than the person that makes that 36 on the ACT and has a few $100,000 sitting in the bank.
Yeah, we love the idea of the service. That's
Yeah.
what we do for Rotary and,
Right.
and as Rotarians. So, yeah, thanks to Butch. Thanks to you for helping us out with that. And I know it's going to be a real blessing to a lot of
Hey,
local
got me off
students.
the hook for $5,000. I was going to do half of it. And,
You can still give it.
Oh, yeah.
Todd,
Don't
we
let
can
him-
go 15.
I'm going to do mine over in
We
let
can
him
do
go.
15.
Don't let him off.
That's right.
So you'll be modeling with Farrell, and you're
Yeah.
going to be modeling Deja Vu, and I know Lindell has dressed you up,
have
and
some Deja Vu on right now.
that's right. And we're going to show a little clip of you walking in it. She's got a lot of dresses in there.
Yes.
I mean, that's Farrell. You got to come see this place. It's like glow in the dark.
I've
in
heard
different
about it. The
rows.
things I've seen in the past shows and all have always just been real eye poppers, and she makes a statement. So you remember if it's coming out from Deja Vu, you remember, okay, yeah, I remember that's Deja Vu.
She actually has
That's
a
some neat
couple
stuff.
events in a row because she does a lot with Angel Myers So Strong.
Yeah.
and a lot of
Yeah.
the girls get dressed up in that, and then a couple weeks later is our event. So it's a fun event, and I know we were talking about it on the other segment. What a great idea to be able to bring together the boutiques with local people that maybe didn't know your store, and I know that you've had people come in.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Just
from
from
the
people dressing 'em.
yeah, people that participate, people that are actually there didn't know we were there or see what we have and come in, and it's great too that y'all supply the models. A lot of fashion shows, a lot of stores will go, I don't want to do that because I got to round up models, and especially guys, trying to get guys to do it.
Right.
But y'all, however he arm twisted
That's
you,
right, yeah.
y'all do some good arm twisting with the guys and get the guys to come in. And once they get there, it's fun because, I mean, the whole evening is just a fun evening for as much for the models as it is for all the people that attend also.
It changed 4 years ago. It was sort of dragging a little bit, and then John Carter came out and did something.
Yeah.
I said, that's the future.
Yeah, and Dan's not going to let anybody have the floor over him, so yeah,
That's right.
he did.
And
Yeah,
Dave
indeed.
fits in perfectly with that. Dave's always been has that sort of,
Yeah.
I don't want to say sick personality,
Sure,
but he
you can say it, Tom.
very intelligent, and likes to play with Rotary. And
Life is for the
it's
living.
unique.
Life's for the living. So you have the if you do it every day, maybe it's too much. But for the foundation and for the cause, why not get dressed up, be a little goofy one night, be part of that community, and help raise some money for a great cause.
And you said you've been there to the event
I have.
I guess, just as a guest.
Just
and-
as a guest, yeah.
Well, now you're going to get to be a guest from backstage, and
Should be a new experience for me.
it's your first show. I know that as it gets a little closer, you'll get a little more excited. I mean, you're putting on a pretty good face at this point, but being Taylor Swift and a Taylor Swift themed thing.
Oh, was
I mean,
that
that's-
her name's not Tiffany then? Okay, he didn't even introduce you, did he?
Well,
Anyway,
she's been
this
on
is
the
Taylor
show every
Swift
week.
then. Okay.
This is Taylor Swift, Tiffany
Yeah,
Watts, and
yeah,
I know that you'll actually be wearing several
I think two.
outfits
I'm gonna do
that
two
night.
outfit changes.
It's a great way to see the different stores, and we've done different things. Some things work, some things haven't worked. I remember one year we did a local department store, and that didn't go over as well. Doing our local shops. So now it is strictly local shops that people will know, and they're going to be there. And most of them have been there for a long time and have been with us since the beginning. I mean,
Yeah, a lot
five
have,
or six
yeah.
of them have been there every single year, and I just can't think of a better way to raise money for your community. And you just got I got 3.5 weeks to come up what that's going to be.
Yeah, and it's not,
Something always comes through. I said last week somebody came up with a pig with 5 days to go in the show, and I was at a marching pig, and we marched out a pig.
Oh, yeah.
Who stayed?
I remember that. Yep,
Yeah.
Yep, indeed.
And
Well,
so-
things are going to change each time. So luckily in fashion and style, it's not going to be the same thing every year because our specialty stores, we all have something that changes with the season each time. So every year we'll have something unique to show.
Well, I don't think that. I think y'all are more of the conservative dress shop, and not the. I don't know about the sparkles. They were just talking with Maceo with me on the phone. Did I want to be in sparkles and all?
Well, it's fun.
Maybe some
maybe we get-
some little.
Maybe we get some Dan and some
Well,
sparkles
Dan,
or friends,
we'll have to see if we can find something to
Yeah.
make him sparkle.
He'll-
But
he'll be down
watch
for
out,
it.
Dave. We're going to make you sparkle too. I mean, you can tell he's a bigger guy than me, but we'll be able to outfit him in something for sure that'll look good.
Now I know we've seen a lot of that. The dress style that a lot of even the kids. Donna Payne brought her granddaughter Blakely, and she was. I mean, they went. Got him a little purple little outfit. They're going together to Taylor Swift. I guess that's sort of this whole
Her area
phenomenon.
store.
You dress up whatever she is doing on tour,
Yep.
and they sell out 70,000 tickets everywhere they go. Okay.
Yeah, it's all about feathers
Sell
these
150
days.
I
if
hate
they would
that.
let
Yeah,
us.
yeah,
I was
indeed.
like, what would the Beatles do today?
Yeah.
So, well, I appreciate y'all coming on, and Farrell, can't thank you enough for what you do for our community. And
Oh, well,
yeah,
not just
so-
me, everybody sitting here, and with that great pharmacy school you've got going on, Dave, too. out there.
Unbelievable,
What a great thing for the coast you brought in on that.
We even have, I think we have the president on next week. I think Burnett's coming on
On the
next
show?
week.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic! Yeah.
is coming on.
Yeah, I'll
and,
tell you, there are a lot of great things. I mean, I'm very proud of the pharmacy school. There's a lot of great things going on at William Carey, Hattiesburg, and also at the Tradition campus. And you know, we've become more like connected to the coast, and we're going to grow here on the coast. And you know, this story 10, 15, 20 years from now is going to be, I'm going to get to tell an amazing story of, I remember when we were a little bit smaller here on the coast. So I'm excited about that explosion we're going to have over the next decade.
We will. Appreciate you coming back.
Thank
Every
you.
week you come back, it gives me hope that you're going to make it to the show. I was like, maybe like one day. Like, this is getting a little crazy for me, so appreciate it. We appreciate everybody's support of the Baco Foundation. And until next time, this is Todd Trenchard saying so long and may God bless.